Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for staying in this, well, if anyone is in, on this lovely afternoon. So, as usual, could you send me your messages so I know you're there so I can say hello? Because there's nothing I love more than a bit of chit-chat and a bit of hello. You know there's a weird delay. Say hello. Because there's nothing I love more than a bit of chit-chat and a bit of hello. Hiya, Paul Wames, how are you? You know there's a weird delay. Paul Wames, I'm not keen on you because you keep beating me at that game. And then when I beat you, I get 1 point. When you beat me, you take about 10 points from me. So I'm losing terribly. I should never have let you do it and taught you how good it was. Anyone else there with a little word? Oh, hi, Jennifer Corker. How are you? I'm glad you could make it today. Oh, hi, David Cabaret. Well, you've got a lot in common with Michelle, haven't you? Because being a costume designer yourself. Hi, Beth Caldwell. Brian Hurley, hi. Hi, Karen, all the way around the corner. Good afternoon, Nicola Marie. Oh, hi, Donald. Oh, you're laughing, Paul Wames. You can laugh. I've got practice to get better. Hi, Karen Alexander. Oh, hi. Oh, you're weaving a rug and watching. That's very careful. Oh, thanks, David Daniel Wilkie. Got a new dress on from Simply Be. Oh, hi, Donald Hairdresser. You're here as well. I was just talking about you with Michelle. Hi, Richard Bratton. Who else? Oh, hi, Dina. Lovely to see you. Glad you're not on the beach. Right. I'm not exactly sure who's modelling next week, but it's in the pipeline. Be entertaining. But anyway, this week we've got another St Leonard's on Sea resident, as people say. Hi, Despo. It's like Stella Street round here. Everyone lives here. So I've got she was first known to have been one of the punks and new romantics, but now she's got a fabulous career, award-winning career, being a costume designer for Game of Thrones and The Crown and lots of films. So let me introduce you to Michele Clapton.
Oh, hey Sue.
Hello, nice to see you. Can everyone see all right and hear all right? Just check in. You can always take a screenshot to help yourself. But I think it's a lovely composition with those flowers. Oh, hi, Daniel Conway. Oh, James. I've just had to say hello to the people. Oh, we've got the dog here. We've got Pedro. He might stay there and he might not. You never know. But if you want to draw him, I advise you to do a screenshot because he might be a bit fidgety. So it's the same as usual. Send in your questions. I'll ask questions. And then draw. Oh, hi, Hitsaru from Japan. She does lovely pictures. And so, what was I going to say? So if people haven't done a drawing class before, I don't really tell you much what to do because I can't see what you're drawing while you do it. So I'll just leave you to it. So you can either do one picture or do lots of little studies, whatever you fancy. And then we have a look at them at the end and we have a little gallery, which might be up tonight or tomorrow. So anyone got any desperate questions they're desperate to ask before I get going? Just wait and see if any. It's about a 10-minute delay. No, 10-second delay between me talking and the questions coming up.
I think it was the beach today. It's so nice
out
there.
There'll be no one watching. They've all gone to the beach. No, nothing. So let's start chit-chatting. Oh,
he's a Lakeland.
What is he?
Lakeland Terrier.
What terrier?
A Lakeland.
Oh, see, she knows about dogs. I don't. Yeah, I think there's 44 people watching at the moment, so hopefully we'll get some more. So, Michelle, where did you grow up?
I grew up in a little village. Well, initially in Cowley in Oxford, and then my dad bought a garage in Great Milton. And so I lived in Great Milton until I was probably about 16. It's just outside Oxford, a little tiny village, middle of nowhere, really. Yeah, it was really idyllic, actually. I had a really nice nice childhood, running around the fields and baking cabins.
Yeah, I've got no trauma about my childhood.
No, I haven't really. I've just really enjoyed it. And I love dressing up and doing all the things.
That's why. When did you start dressing up and your great interest in clothes?
I think even I can remember when I was really young, always like making turbans out of towels and pretending I was some sort of Roman emperor or something. And then I was also, I think, I always remember dressing my dolls and making all the ugly ones look best and shoving all the pretty ones in the drawer in ragged clothing. I always wanted the ugly duckling to be the best dress. Maybe that went later on for me as well. I don't know. It was always, I always like the underdog. If I ever chose, a litter of puppies, I'd always go for the smallest and the weakest. I suppose, I don't know. I felt that when I was dressing up as well a bit. And then, yeah, I just was interested in it. And I guess I liked art and fashion, and I liked English as well. And then when I got to 16 and they said, what do you want to do? And I went, I don't really know. I don't really want to do A-levels because there wasn't anything that I was particularly interested in. Yeah. I just liked sort of art and fashion. So luckily, this careers tutor, who I don't even know his name, recommended I go and do a course of sort of pattern cutting and textiles and stuff in Oxford, which I did. And that was the start of it, really.
Oh, that was a marvellous thing to do, because a lot of people, they can't really do the proper stuff. They can just do it in their head. So
I think it really helped me because I liked the idea of sort of just making. I mean, I made things, always made myself stuff. I used to buy 19 magazine and then try and get the fabric and then cut it out, sew it up and wear it that night.
Oh yeah, the things I just go out and take a tablecloth off the table and make it into a dress to wear out.
Always. And then I think when punk came along, it was even better because you could. I suppose I was quite into sort of the look of Northern Soul and stuff like that, doing all-nighters when I was sort of probably 15, 16. I also loved Sparks and Bowie, of course, before that.
Yeah.
And then I think when punk came along and I started going to London in sort of 76, 77, it was again that thing of like, I think I never thought I was very pretty, so it was much better to be different.
Because you're very attractive.
I think you just felt like you weren't compared to anyone else, so that's why I sort of really got into that sort of whole punk thing, I think, and I loved it. And I started a company called Perspiration de Paris, which with a guy called Sacha Bradell, I think, who was doing theology at Oxford, and we had these mad sort of collections with him dressed as Batman, as me as Mary Magdalene, and just I don't know, really mad stuff. And it was really exciting. And I was about 17 to just sort of play around with that sort of stuff.
Yeah. And so, when did you move to London? Or didn't you?
So I applied to go to London College of Fashion when I was, I guess, 17. So I would have moved in 77, 78. 78 I would have thought, pretty much. And I got offered a place at interview, so I didn't go to my St Martin's interview. And so then when I got to London College of Fashion, I thought, God, I've made a really bad mistake because all the people I liked were at St Martin's. So I tried to change, but St Martin's said, yeah, but London College of Fashion said no, they wouldn't transfer my grant. So I stayed there, and in fact it was really good. I stayed there. All my friends, well, most of them were at St Martin's. My best friend Claire was at London College of Fashion, and actually I still think it was good because it taught me again the practicalities of cutting and making, and probably more so than they would have done at St Martin's. But I think I would have just got, I guess, distracted at St Martin's by everything else that was going on, because I get distracted very easily. So it's much better if I sort of have someone making me do something. Yeah. So that was good. And as I say, my lovely friend Claire Tom, she was a year above me, and she was really the person who sort of introduced me to Boy George and Philip Salon and all those people, because they used to come into the college to see her. I remember Philip Salon coming in with a platform shoe and a plimsoll and a never mind the bollocks badge, and he was actually at the college and he got slung out for mocking fashion.
Well, my friend went to college with him at the North London University or something. They all changed names and that.
Yeah,
and this was like, it was obviously a mature. He must have been in his mid-full 50s. Still turns up with all his hair with the newspaper in it.
I know. He was fantastic. And it was, Claire did the most beautiful collection there ever, which was again ahead of me, but she didn't move into costume really. She did some quite interesting. We both worked for George at one stage. We used to show him designs. When we left college, we used to show him designs every week. We did 3 or 4 dresses because he had a little shop on the corner of Carnaby Street or Newburgh Street with someone, and then they used to buy the designs off us for 100 quid each or something, which was a lot of money then.
Yeah, it was.
It was great. That's how we sort of lived. That's how we made a living really initially when we left college. Yeah, it's interesting.
Oh, you've got a fan watching from Argentina.
Ooh,
Flavio Maiano, you're very inspiring. Oh, this is Dina who introduced you to Paul Weller. You talked about it.
Yeah, I know. I remember meeting him somewhere off Marble Arch, I think it was, in a studio. But I can't remember if I did anything in the end. I mean, it was funny because after that sort of period of like college and, you know, meeting, going to the Blitz thing like that, which was for me like a revelation. I suppose I used to, I say the punk days were great. We used to go up to the Roxy.
Yeah.
Start at 1, and then we'd take all our safety pins out and then go down to Heaven and get into Heaven and stay there until 3. And then we'd sort of wander around London until the first train back in the morning. And often we could sleep on the trains. You could sneak onto the trains to get back to Oxford.
Yeah.
So I'd sort of been through that. But then I remember going to the Blitz for the first time with Claire, and it was just like, I just thought it was so amazing, all these different people. And but at that stage, there probably weren't that many of us in there. I mean, it got busier later on as it went, as time went by there. But then I think there were probably only about sort of 20, 30 people. And all like,
but you talking about how you used to love dressing up with your friends and everything, with your turbans, you must have think you died and gone to heaven.
It was, but no one wanted to look alike either. That was a funny thing. It's like, if anyone turned up looking like you really put out, and you'd have to do something else because you really didn't want to look like someone else there. And so I remember the night I was really plucking up courage to shave my hair, because before that I had a little bob like this. And I used to be, I don't know, into sort of quite 20s, 30s stuff. And then I really wanted to shave my head, but I really fancied Graham Smith, and I didn't think he'd go out with me if I shaved my head. So
I know all about that romance.
it was so funny. So I went.
Paul Simper's always talking about it.
It never fancied me. I was a bit of an odd one for him anyway, I think. But so I went to the college and I said, I got my friend, I said, will you shave my head for me? And so she did. And halfway through, her the lecturer came in and went, you're disgusting, get out. You should, I'm not having your head shaved in this place, and it's disreputable. And I just really gave me a hard time, and my friend. So I went home and I knocked on Graham Smith's door, and he finished shaving my head for me. And then I think I started going out with him just after that, actually. For a long time, actually.
I know.
Then he met the lovely Lorraine afterwards. So they're still married now, actually.
I know they are. Very happily, I believe.
They went to the wedding dress, so.
Oh, did you?
So, yeah.
Oh, well, that's nice.
She was much better for him than I was.
Oh. Right, so we're at the Blitz. So in the daytime, when you're walking around with your bald head, did people stare at you?
Yeah, it was. I remember it was funny because we really obviously we dressed like that, so we wanted people to look at us.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you remember, it was like everyone was really straight then. I mean, now you can do almost anything you want.
Exactly.
Looks, but then we were so weird. And I remember, we were threatened quite a lot and laughed at loads. And I found this really amazing red dye that if you put it on your hand, it made it look like blood. And when I used to get the tube home from college, I used to put all this ink on me and bandage up my hands and think, well, they might not beat me up if they think that someone's already beaten me up. I mean, just really stupid things like that. And I used to wear a really bad wig sometimes, thinking, again, they won't attack me if they think I'm mad. I don't sort of find stupid things, stupid logic.
And how long did you have your bald head for?
I don't know. I sort of forget now, really. It must have been 6 months.
Yeah.
Or something like that, 6 months a year. I don't know. It seemed a while, but we were always changing. I was always wearing wigs and different bits and pieces on. I always kept my little bit of hair here so I could anchor all my hats and all my bits of jewelry. Well, I used to wear the plastic ring I used to wear, because I used to like to call it my fallen halo, was actually a fitment out of my mum and dad's lounge light.
It's very Blue Peter.
I know, but it all was very Blue Peter then.
Oh, I know.
So yeah, we danced and we went off to Berlin and we did all sort of nice, interesting things. And I think I learned a lot. I mean, I was going to college, obviously, but I think all this creative stuff was I learned from just dressing up and playing with my friends, really. Yeah. And I remember Stephen Linnard, who's also now here we are.
Yeah.
I remember modelling in his show with George and Lee Sheldrick and Julia and I'm trying to think of Mara. I mean, his was like I think it's his mid-collection show, and then he went on to do the most amazing stuff at the end with these beautiful dancer shirts and menswear, high-waisted trousers. But yeah, we sort of modelled for him, and I think we went and stole I think George and I stole all the dressing up clothes out of the St Martin's dressing up box. And then Stephen said he didn't want to go to college because they knew that it was his friends who'd stolen.
There's a lot of thieving when
tried to sell me one of the dresses, one of the skirts that went with my top. And I went, but we just stole them together. So anyway, it was sort of fun.
Is your sister called Jess?
Yeah, Jess.
She's watching. She's watching.
Hi, Jess.
There she is, Jessica Cadman.
I got two sisters, Jessica and Nicola. They're both younger than me.
And where one lives? Where's the other one?
Just in Oxfordshire.
Oh yeah, she didn't stray. And your sister's like you, sort of arty and creative, and
they both are. Jessica doesn't think she is. She's an intensive care nurse, but she does beautiful things. And my other sister did illustration and photography at Camberwell, but then she went back and had a family. But she does beautiful drawings. She's very, but they're not. They didn't ever go through the sort of mad dressing up phase that I went through.
I know. There's usually only one in a family.
You wonder why. I'm not sure. Why? I don't know. I don't know other people's route into it. Sometimes I think it's a shyness, and sometimes it's just trying to be something else. I don't know. It's a fun. I think people come in from different reasons, really. But it was obviously a passion of mine, and I like the idea that clothes tell a story that someone can't sometimes tell you themselves, if you see what I mean. It's an insight into people sometimes, into their moods and how they feel. I'm a people watcher, defo.
Some people who just wear a uniform every day to save them having to think about what they're wearing and that. I wouldn't like that. I like to wear something different every day, even if I'm on my own in the house.
Yeah, I think I do too. I feel very down if I don't sort of think. It's not about thinking. I don't know. It's a really hard thing, isn't it? It's to please myself most of the time, to make me feel better. It's not about trying to please other people. It's quite selfish. It's about how if I need to be cheered up or if I'm feeling a bit low, you choose things accordingly, even if you're not really aware of it, I think sometimes.
And so you finished college, and then what did you do?
Well, I was working. When I was at college, I was working at the Institute of Contemporary Art as well as an usherette.
At the ICA?
Yeah, the Judicates. I did that pretty much all through. So when we used to go to the Blitz, my friend Claire used to come and pick me up, and I'd see all the people into the cinema, and then I'd go and, I was still dressed up in the daytime, but add a bit more for the night. And they came out, and I think they were like, what the hell? Then my friends were there too. I think I was quite shocked. And then, so when I finished college, I think I went into fashion. I remember selling the clothes to George and his Peter, his business partner. And then I think I designed with my friend Dexter Wong. We did the Thompson Twins World Tour with the big hats and hammers and stuff. And then Claire and I used to sing backing vocals to them sometimes and do.
What, on stage?
Yeah, we did the live
I never knew that.
We kept breaking all these shows. We were a bit heavy-handed. And I did a collection, London Fashion Week, with my friend Lek. And then I sort of, with the ICA, I remember Michael Morris was there, and my boyfriend then, Floss, used to run the bookshop. And I tried to put choreographers and fashion designers together, because I was quite interested in showing fashion in different ways, rather than sort of, the usual models walking down the catwalk. I quite like the idea of using dancers and real people and normal people and choreographing their movements. So we did 2 seasons of that at the ICA, and it was really interesting and effective. But I think fashion, I didn't enjoy doing fashion, because fashion's a business. So you design your collections, you put all your heart into it. It's exactly how you want it to be, and then you sell it, and then you have to manufacture it. And a lot of the times people were doing sale and return, so they were taking no risk on you at all. You do all this work, then you'd have to change the designs because the fabric needs to be cheaper. Then people didn't pay you, and in the end, I just didn't want to do it anymore. It was a business, and I'm not a business person. And then you see, it destroys so many other people. Look at, Alexander McQueen and other people like that. I mean, I'm not comparing myself to them in any way, but it's what fashion can do.
John Galliano.
And lovely John Galliano. I mean,
they have to work so hard. No wonder they go bonkers.
I know it destroys people, because you have this, designers are about being creative, And then when it becomes about money, it's not something that you want to really think about, and backers are only ever backing you because they want to make a living out of your money out of you. So I was sort of getting pretty down about fashion, and then I very luckily got pregnant with my lovely daughter India.
Oh, I was lucky, yeah.
It was like, right, that's over. Now I'm gonna just take stock for a while. So I did. I just sort of backed off. I stopped. I had a backer then who was actually very nice, Baldiv, but I just didn't want to do it anymore. So I was just wondering what to do next. And a photographer called Russell, God, I can't remember his name. I was living in Wapping in this mad warehouse, and he came round because he was going to use it as a set for some work, and he just said, "Oh, what are you doing?" Because I was still making stuff and whatever, and I showed him what I was doing, and he went, "Why aren't you working?" And I went, "Because I don't know what to do with it." And he said, "Well, why don't you come and style for me?" And I went, "Okay." So my first job, he said, "I've got this Irish girl needs styling, and needs a video doing," and it was Enya, and it went to #1. I was very lucky, and so I just started. I got into sort of. I met a video director and a company who happened to be in the same building that I lived in, which was really bizarre, and started styling videos, and not then commercial, just videos. Sometimes styling the bands, often styling the bands actually, but it was usually the videos I particularly liked doing because they were like little sketchbook ideas for films and things. Every week I had a different project.
All over in 3 minutes.
Yeah, I just do it, and it was like.
And did you make clothes for the people to wear, or did you just sort of buy clothes and style them like that?
Well, a bit of both, but I had my studio and I used to make stuff there, and I had Spencer Horn and Nikki Varney were my sort of assistants, and we'd get the brief, we'd go, okay, we've got to make this, and we'd just we'd make corsets and dresses and things that had to fall apart, and so excessive, like 8-meter crinolines, and then there's this one dress I do which looked like a flower on top, and as the camera came down, it turned into this huge hat and dress. You just turn your hand to anything. And our studios were chaotic, but we would just all pile in there and make it. It was really exciting, and really hard work because you'd make the stuff and you'd try and throw it in your car, and then you'd drive to some beach somewhere. Afterwards, it was always Dungeness or some sort of place in London. And you'd get it all out, and then you'd have to put it all on the extras and the dancers and everything, and the start of the acts, and then you shoot probably for sort of 15 hours, and then you put it all back in your car and try and drive back. It was so dangerous at times. There's no.
They still make pop videos like that now, because everyone. I used to be in them all the time because they were so desperate for extras. They
were desperate too. I'm sure. I don't know if it's as crazy as it was then, but then I don't know if it's as creative. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't done them for a while. But I did do them for years, and I did so many different bands, and doing Annie Lennox, "No More I Love You." So I think Wayne knew most of the dancers in that who told me. Yeah. I think it was and lots of sort of boy. I did 2 Boy George. Can't remember
which ones did you do?
I can't remember. He was painted blue. I remember that.
Oh yeah.
And Dr. George Michael, I really liked working with him.
What ones did you do for George Michael?
Jesus to a Child was the big one I did with him, which I loved. And then just some really Adam Ant.
I was thinking about the other day. Yesterday, I was thinking about George Michael. What a tragedy life was.
I know, and he was such a lovely man to work with. I was with him actually. We were in his trailer when O.J. Simpson got off. We both said, "We'll remember where we were forever when that happened."
He had such a beautiful voice.
He was, and I think he was a really lovely man, actually. I remember I had him in a white suit on this beach, and there was this really long wall, it wasn't a pier, but it was a piece that went out into the sea. I can't remember what they're called. And he went right up to them in the film, and then suddenly his dog saw him and started running towards him. He was covered in filth, and I was going, "No, stop!" He ran all the way up to George and jumped up at him.
Yeah.
Then we had all these sort of flambe things, all the wet flames and the ashes were going up into the air. So someone gave George an umbrella, but it was nylon, and it all landed on the umbrella, went straight through the umbrella.
Oh no!
It was stupid stuff. But yeah, so I did lots of things then, and I met lots of friends. I met Jim Godden, who's a really good friend of mine. She used to model. She used to be sort of the muse really of Howard Greenhull, And I used to dress her up in the most mad things, and she was like 6 foot tall, shaven head. And we just like walk down that high street in that sort of green baby doll, lime green baby doll outfit, and let's film the reactions. And off she'd go. She says she hates me sometimes for the things I put her in, but she's become really my best friend, one of my best friends. So it's nice that we met people, through work like that. And again, then I from that just into commercials really, and which were less fun, but probably more lucrative.
Yeah. Which sort of commercials did you do?
I did the Hovis one that went all through the centuries, which was all through the decades. That was a nice one to do. Oh God, I just loads. I actually met my partner on I can't remember. It was a I think a loo cleaning product or something.
Oh, is that where you met?
Domestos.
I thought it was on a glamorous film.
I know, and I remember him. I thought, oh God, he's really nice. And so we had to wear these little blue plastic covers for our shoes. So I put wings on his, and he went, "Why have mine got wings on?" I went, "I don't know."
Well, it's worked out all right, hasn't it?
Yeah, it did in the end, I think. Yeah, I think he got us a bit, but I remember I'd starred, God, I can't remember the band. It was Sarah Stockbridge, who was always in all the music videos I seen.
Oh, yeah.
And I dressed her up in all this pink blossom, and I think Russell was on that, and I remember putting a bit of it under his car windscreen wiper. And then months later, when I did finally go out with him, he actually still had it. Which I thought,
oh, has he still got it now, though?
I think it's actually in the back of my car now, actually. Yeah, it's still around. It's funny.
Oh.
So then, got lots of commercials. And I think it was I remember being aware of costume design, but I didn't really know how to get into it or enough about it. Although I used all the costume houses, I remember sort of Sandy Howell and people like that, being aware of them, but I just didn't know how they did what they did. And then one day a friend of mine who had been you woken up? Had been a commercials or video director, said he was going to make a piece, I think in a half-hour program on Schubert. I think it was Schubert. And would I like to design it? And I went, oh, yeah, okay then, yeah, that'd be good. And I didn't know what the continuity sheet was. I didn't know anything. I actually made all the costumes myself for it because I didn't know how to find the things I wanted to find. No. So that was my first. I think that was my first thing I did, and then I did a really. Was it? God, I can't remember. It was with Ben. Oh, I can't remember. Ben Hopkins. I can't remember what it was called now, but that was my first proper film, and it was really interesting with Noah Taylor, and about a small Jewish settlement, and it was so exciting. I mean, it was horrific because I didn't know what I was doing at all. I was literally learning on the job as a costume designer. I didn't assist. So I had to make all the mistakes myself. And I had like a really nice crew. And Rose Goodhart, God, she'd saved my life. Although then she cut her finger off in the wardrobe bus door halfway through that shoot. And I remember she was on painkillers again. You can't leave me, because what am I going to do?
Well, a whole finger. Did they sew it back on?
But what do I do now? Anyway, it was a really interesting thing. And I suddenly realised I really liked doing it. But I didn't like how long it took. The idea of doing a job for sort of 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks to me was like, it just was going to take me away from life. So I still went back to commercials in between for a while, and I probably did like one film every year or 2 years. It was funny. And also my daughter was still quite young then.
Yeah.
And I think it does steal your life being a costume designer sometimes. You are away for long periods of time. Yeah. So I think that's why so many of us find it hard to keep families together. I'm very lucky, but a lot of people, I think lose families because it's hard to understand when you're away for that long. And
how many hours a day would you work normally, do you reckon?
Well, it's always 11, 12-hour days, then travel, So, and if you're away, then you'll stay away. And so, I could be away for sort of 2 or 3 months, 4 months sometimes. Yeah. Which is a lot. It's hard to do that with children, and the film industry at the moment doesn't really make much provision for families. I think they do more. They are beginning to get creche at studios, which helps. But so it's only as I've got a bit older that I go away more. But I don't always like it. But I love designing. I love doing the work.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Because you
I
have to
don't know
keep
what
the
I do.
director happy as well, don't you? Because they get quite fussy, don't they, sometimes?
Who are the actors?
No, directors and that, don't they? Or is the actors more trouble?
Well, as a costume designer, you're sort of in the middle of it, really, because
Yeah.
you first meet the director and you sort of, well, he chooses you hopefully because he likes your work, and then you have conversations and you go, okay, we're on the same wavelength. So you get that, but then I'm probably the first person then to spend time with the actor. And actors sometimes come in with ideas, which is good, but you have to try and manage, or you have to. It's engaging, really, engaging in the character that you're trying to produce with them, and keeping in mind what the director and you have discussed, and so making it all work so that when the director starts seeing the actors in the fittings, doesn't go like, what the hell are you playing at? And equally, so you can't force the actor to wear, you can't force them to wear your clothes. You have to sort of, it's a negotiation sometimes, which can be frustrating because you really want.
Do actors sometimes say, I'm not going to wear that?
On occasions, yeah, and you have to work around it. You have to be diplomatic sometimes, and just you have to find a way around it or find a way in. And sometimes they do it because they're really not sure about the characters themselves, so they have to explore that character more. And then you maybe, I don't know. There's never a definite way to do it. It just always changes, and I think as you get more experience, you work out ways to do it. But when I first went, of course, I was used to showing models. With models, you just say, okay, put this on like this, turn around, whatever. I did it on my first job. I went, okay, put this on. And I remember this actor looking at me like, what are you talking about? We need to talk about this. No, let's put it on. It was someone, actually, I'm not going to say the name, but it was someone, she's quite a bit of, well, she's a piece of work, this actress. And I've worked with her since, and I love her now. But at the time, I was just thinking, you're outrageous. Why won't you wear what I've designed? You look great in it. She wasn't. She's called me a beastly girl.
Oh no! So for most of your films, do you mainly make everything from scratch, or do you go out and buy things as well?
It's a mixture. If it's period, we probably rent some things from costume houses. I mean, there's great houses in London and in Spain and Italy and wherever. So we travel quite a lot to pull pieces.
Yeah.
And then we'll set up work rooms because I really like making, and having work to make it, because I think it becomes original and it fits the actor better, and you have complete control of the palette and the colour. So that's important. And on Kingsman, we will actually even wove our own fabrics, which was really exciting.
Oh my goodness!
And wove our ties, we knitted socks, we made everything, which was really exciting. And I had lovely Tim Perkins. We had like 4 or 5 tailors.
I know Tim Perkins.
He's great. He used to work with Vivienne Westwood at one stage. I mean, he worked with George as well, I think.
Yeah.
And he didn't start in film, but he's come into film now. And he cut some amazing suits on Kingsman for us. And then Mel and.
Do you know David Williams, who's doing this now? David Cabaret. He's watching.
Yeah, well, I don't know him personally.
He works with Tim sometimes.
Yeah, and I see his name on this quite often because I draw. I sometimes draw people on this as well.
I know. They're lovely.
So we have a lovely embroiderers, and it's just so nice to work as a team in that way. Like all people bring things to each. So everything. How do I put it? If I design something, we then we'll all look at the cutters and the makers and everything, work out how to do it, and they'll start twiling it, and then we can talk about it. Well, actually, this would work better if we did it this way, and that fabric would be better. So everything grows, and then Michele Clapton, my mate, she's an amazing embroiderer. Like, I'll tell her a story, especially on Game of Thrones, and she'll go away and sort of do all this sort of work and thoughts, just sort of guided by a few words to start with, and then she'll bring it back, and then we'll discuss again. So I mean, I can't embroider like that. I wouldn't know where to start. So the fact that she does, and then we can talk about it, and she brings this whole new sort of look at things. I mean, I think that's why I think it's teamwork. I'm the designer, but the assistant designers and all the other workers on the show actually just make it what it is.
I can see how much you love it. But when you're talking about it, you've really animated, and you look so thrilled. You're so lucky to be able to do a job you love.
I know, I really am. I just wish they'd build film studios in St Leonard's, and I'd never have to leave here.
That'd be much.
So many crews.
Do me a favour. Can you just show your rings? Because I'm trying to look at them, and they're amazing. Did you design them?
No, Gloria Carlos, a friend of mine, she made those too. And And that one I bought years ago. I don't know where it's from, but I like rings. You see, again,
See, I can't bear them.
You see, it's funny because I hate my hands. So I said, well, if you hate your hands, why do you wear rings? Because it draws attention. No, it draws attention to the rings, not the hands.
Oh, yeah. I can't bear them on my fingers, and then people shake your hand and squeeze it, and it hurts.
It does hurt sometimes when people shake my hand, especially
with those. I can imagine.
I always wear those. Always wear those, but I don't always wear those. But
so let's get on to. Oh, just is there any questions while we have a little? Any questions before we get on to Game of Thrones? Oh, hi, Ferret. Lovely to see you.
Eve, I know of her, obviously, but she sounds lovely.
Oh, Tom Matisse. Oh, I'd like to have done a Matisse workshop. I like Matisse.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Oh, Sarah J. Morris is enjoying our talk because she's another one, lives a couple of doors down.
Oh, really?
She lives a couple of doors down from you. Hilarious.
Living here is so fantastic. It's changed my life a lot, I think, really.
I know. Any other questions, or should we go on to Game of Thrones? Because I had to admit to Michelle, I felt so embarrassed that I've only ever watched 10 minutes of Game of Thrones because I watched those 10 minutes and it was so frightening, I couldn't carry on. But then she told me she's never watched the whole episode either.
Because I always have to watch elements. You know, I'm always watching rushes and things.
Yeah.
It's really hard to sit and watch a program I've designed like that because I just see all the faults. So, yeah. And I don't like the violence in it. That sort of upsets me.
I don't too scary.
I find a bit uncomfortable sometimes because it seems a bit gratuitous. But anyway, whatever.
One of the poor boys, did he get his penis removed? His mum lives here as well.
Poor Elfie Allen.
Yes. So his mother lives here. Everyone lives here. So Game of Thrones. When you got it, did you think, oh, it's just a little show, or were you really, really excited?
Well, it's funny because I remember I got it actually. Gemma Jackson, a production designer, really helped me get that show because my then agent, Claire Best, introduced me to her, and we just sort of hit it off. And I was really inexperienced and very unlikely to get it, but she sort of was my mentor getting it really. So I remember getting the interview after I'd met her, and I'd made so many boards, so many ideas. And I turned up at this interview at Charlotte Street Hotel, and there were a gang of these Americans there, and who I didn't know at the time. Now I know them, I really like them, but. And I just started showing them, and then after about half an hour, I could see them looking at their watches. I went, "I haven't finished. You can't go yet. I haven't finished." I was like, so I remember David and Dan, the writers, had to leave, and then the other people stayed a bit longer. And I thought, "Oh God, I've blown it." Anyway, when I got home, I got another call saying, "Would I go back in the afternoon and show them again?" So I thought, "Oh, this looks a bit promising." And then I think the director of the pilot had someone else he wanted to use in LA, but they decided not to go with them. I don't know who they were. So I got it and I was like, yeah, it's really good. And I was just like terrified because I'd never done anything like that before. And it was like armor, and I was like, how do I make armor? I honestly went into meltdown. I know I really wanted to do it, but I was really scared. And also then I found out how to do it in Belfast where none of my crew were.
Yeah.
I hadn't worked on big workrooms or anything. So.
Oh, sorry, just quickly, can you just show your rings again to this lady? Because she does lovely embroideries and she likes to do the jewellery. All right. All right, Jennifer. Yeah, I'm sure it is. That's a nice one.
What was I saying? Yeah, so and in Belfast, which was quite tricky, and there wasn't really a film industry there. So I had an amazing supervisor. People don't know are people who organise the crew, but costumes were organised as the crew, the budget. All the logistics. So I found this, and I can't remember his name. I like him so much. He's a really good designer now. It'll come to me. Anyway, I was so lucky to have him because he helped me through. I don't know how I'd have got through it without him. God, I'm so rubbish at remembering names. Anyway, so we shot it, and then they didn't ever show one. I don't think they showed any of it at all. They scrapped the first pilot altogether. And then it took them about 9 months to decide whether to actually go ahead and make it as a series. And we all thought, oh God, is it going to happen or not? And then the word came through. They sacked some people of the crew and then kept some of us. And then we started making it properly. And then it was all in Belfast. Some had been in Scotland before. And because I had that pilot to meet armourers, to sort of work out how to run a workroom. It was still really stressful the first 2 years because it was just making up so much costume. And it
did
was
you know how popular it was going to be? Did anyone have any idea?
No, not at all, not at all.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that I think made it popular was the fact they killed the lead. You know, you think, oh, he's not going to be beheaded. Oh my God, they killed him. And I think that everyone sort of sat up and took notice, like, God, this show's really brutal. And I think it took, I mean, obviously the books were really popular, but it took a while. And I don't know, it was such a fascinating series to work on. And you could almost do anything because it was fantasy. I mean, it's all rooted in reality. It had to be to make sense. But you could go anywhere with it. And that's what I loved. I loved this sort of sense of freedom. And Frank Dodger, who was one of the producers, said to me early on, he goes, don't use up all your ideas in one place. Spread them out. Like, just put things in areas, ideas you might get to in 4 or 5 shows' time. And then concentrate on what you've decided for that area and work, be creative within that. So have a colour palette, have a cloth. And it was all based on, if it was on a trade route, then they'd get silks and they'd be able to trade. If they're in Winterfell, way up north, they probably don't see many people. They'd use wools, which they can get from the sheep, and they dye with natural dyer's bark. And so that really helped sort of hone in how everything should look, and looking at the trades and looking at their skills. You know, what do people do in the evening when it's cold and dark outside? You know, well, they embroider. You know, so all these ideas.
So fascinating hearing all this.
Yeah, informative. I did lots of sort of woven stuff. So they had, I've noticed I think it was in Russia, they used to have these great big sort of collars which used to shield them from the wind, which just obviously makes sense. So then we did all these woven collars which stuffed with sheep's wool that the poor wore strapped around them. And then the hierarchy would then, like the Starks would then embroider collars almost in sort of empathy of the workers. So they had these lovely padded collars all embroidered. So it was just interesting, you know, to work that through and to use all these amazing skills. And the art school in Belfast was so helpful with us. They did lots of our printing early on.
Lovely.
It was great. And they really, Mo, I think her name was, she was so fantastic. And they'd try anything. We'd like wanted laser cut. They'd try it out. They were so exciting and so excited. And it was great because then also the students in their college often came and worked with us then on the show, which meant they didn't have to go to London straight away and be at a disadvantage. They could stay home and actually work on something quite creative. Because we have painters and dyers and, you know, so many different skills within the costume department. It's not all about just being the designer. It's, you know, weavers, whatever. So it's really exciting. And then Paul Ashurst, my friend who painted this picture, he used to come over and paint some of the costumes for us. And he used to sleep under the table at lunchtime. It's very sweet. So, yeah.
So how many people will be in your workroom generally?
Sorry?
How many people will be in the workroom in the team?
I think on Game of Thrones, it probably, when we're filming, it runs at probably about 80 to 90 people, 80 to 100 people even, actually, on big days. The workroom and the armory and all that, probably about sort of 30, 40 people. Yeah. There's a lot in extras, because that's where, you know, all dress extras and things.
And are you in charge of the dressers and that, or are they a separate department?
Yeah. No, this all comes under costume. So, like myself and my assistant designer might go in and dress a few of the extras, say, this is what we're thinking. But then I really like them to take over. And actually, as long as they've got the idea of what's available to those people, then you get all this lovely variety of people actually investing their own ideas into it. And I check photos of all the outfits at the end of the day and say, well, maybe that's a bit too far, or that's really good. And then the next day, then they'll move forward again. So I think it's nice to give people a sort of stake in it, really. If people are just doing exactly what they're told, it's dull. It's
exactly. And do any of the extras get a bit stroppy and say, I'm not wearing that?
It's funny, actually, in Belfast, because obviously there's so many extras come back year after year, and a lot of them have got tattoos like Stark or Umber or whatever. So if you try and put them in the wrong costume, no, I'm an Umber or I'm a Stark. So they come and they want to wear the costumes they know they should wear. So, and I think sometimes it's tough I think people are usually told. I mean, if people are not going to wear much, then obviously they're told in advance, or they're told we're looking for people who don't mind showing their bodies or whatever. So they're usually pre-warned, and they can always say no. You know, it's not they're not forced into it.
Has anyone else got any more questions about game? Oh, this is a long question. did you go to the Hollywood costume exhibition at the V&A a few years back? Because he was amazed how much thought went into how a costume had to fit the person.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I did, and yes, it is so true. Like, I mean, costumes have to fit and work absolutely properly on people. They're not actually costumes; they're clothes.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're only costumes if someone's dressing up in something that's not their usual clothes. So, yeah, they have, especially with stunts. You know, some of those we have to cut completely differently. Although they still have to look like the actor they're obviously portraying. So you have to be really aware. On Mamma Mia, I remember the waiters all had to do this really like splits and dancing and everything.
Yeah.
And I found this lovely suiting, but I had a stretch. So we made it all in the stretch. So it looked like a completely normal suit with the white apron, but every single bit of it stretched. So you have to...
Sometimes you have to like distress an outfit because it looks too new.
When you finish making a costume, when you finish making some clothes for costume, it's never finished until it's been to the breakdown department. Even if it's meant to be a new suit, it has to go to them because they just give it another life. They just, I don't know, they just paint into the seam sometimes, and I mean sometimes they go to town and destroy it. And I've seen some of the cutters like in tears in my sweat. Their beautiful outfit goes off and it comes back and it's completely wrecked. But it has to be because it has to respond to the journey of that person. I think on Kingsman we made 15, 18 of one of Raif's leather coat in that, just because it had to go through so many stages and fit so many different stuntmen, and it was incredible. And each time it had to be broken down to match where it had just been through that process.
Lavio was just asked, did you design all the costumes, or was there other people designing, or were you like head designer and maybe sent little jobs out to other people?
What on Game of Thrones or anything?
Yeah, was it you were the... I
mean, I would say I design 95%. I mean, when it comes to uniforms, like I would say on the Crown or something like that, I have an assistant called Alex Fordham who knows all about the military side. I don't even pretend to know about military. So he tends to design those. I mean, I'll still look at them all and say whether I like them or not. And so he's very good at like historical menswear as well. So, you know, you choose assistant designers to fill the gaps that you don't know, or the gaps in your knowledge or whatever. And then I'd have Alex who helps with menswear and does the military. And I might have someone else who is very good at who's good at sort of working with breakdown people. And then I'll have someone, I love Sophie's a lovely assistant of mine, and she and I don't know, we just go on these lovely journeys of discovery and Secret Garden together, which is one of my favourite films ever. And we just kept saying to each other, we want it to be so beautiful that it makes us cry. And that was our little lament throughout.
Yeah, I quickly we've only got about 10 minutes left. The time whizzes by. Now, The Crown, I have watched every single series and episode of that, so hurrah. How different was that to Game of Thrones? Because it was a very different kind of costumes, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, when I got the call to see if I'd do it, I was ready to leave Game of Thrones at that stage because I just felt I'd got to a point where I couldn't go much further. I thought I'd almost done everything, which sounds a bit weird. I didn't anyway. So I got the call from Stephen Daldry and asked me. So I went to see him in London, and I just really wanted to do a historical piece, and I liked the fact that it was a royal family who we all think we know everything about, but actually reading the script and then reading more about them, I wanted to sort of show this more human side behind. So we had to do these big set pieces like the wedding and the coronation, which had to be all made as beautifully as we could do it in the time we had. We didn't have that much time. And then I could tell this lovely behind the scenes stories. Like I loved, she's just wearing Philip's shirt in treetops. And I just loved that. At the time her father had died and she was becoming queen, she was actually in Philip's shirt in this sort of treetop cabin. And I love playing with that. There was another time, I think, when I wanted to intimate that Princess Margaret had sex with Peter Townsend, but we just put a pair of slacks on her. So in one scene, she was interested, oh, darling, you're here. And then we cut to her later with a pair of slacks. And I just thought that said it. That says had sex without having to be too obvious about it. So I loved doing it. I really, really loved doing it.
You had plenty of extras in that to do, didn't you?
I know, but again, it was such fun because again, we made so much of those clothes, and then we found beautiful stuff in the costume houses as well. They were so helpful on that. And
Oh, what
just
do they do with the costumes after? Do they go, the costume houses buy them, or?
a lot of the extras stuff we've made usually.
Yeah.
The production companies usually hold on to the principal stuff, often because there'd be reshoots, and then for press, and then exhibitions. I mean, there was The Crown, and then the Game of Thrones. They've actually haven't. I don't think they've sold any of the costumes, not even the extras on that. They're doing a huge exhibition centre in Belfast at the moment. They're building, purpose built. But then there's another collection that goes on tour around the world, which I sort of go and open. So sometimes it's really sad because these clothes just get put into boxes. And I know sometimes, I know on one or two films I've done, whereas I think people would have loved to have kept the clothing, and I found out they just gave it away to staff at the production office in LA, and you go, well, thanks for that. You know, it's like a bit heartbreaking sometimes.
And now you've got several awards. You've got BAFTA, haven't you, and Emmys, and you've got Golden Globe.
No,
You've got an Oscar.
Huh?
You've got an Oscar.
No, haven't done.
Oh, you'll get one soon. But so, do you get a phone call or a letter telling you you've been nominated?
You get told you've been nominated, but you don't know you've won any of these things until...
You really don't? Yeah, because sometimes I'm never quite sure if they know or not.
No, you really don't know. And any of the things, I'm sure you don't know it on Oscars either. It's funny. But for all the awards, I mean, for all the Emmys and the BAFTAs I've got, you know, I still don't... There's still things I really want to do. There's a film I want to do recently, and I won't get it because I haven't got the Oscar. And they've said as much, and you just go, so heartbreaking when you really... I don't know if that's the only reason. That's probably a bit too much to say, but there are times when you just think, but just give me a chance. I can do this. I'll do a beautiful job. You can't always just go for the people that have the awards. And like for me, I don't think I should get every television job just because I've got the Emmys. You go for the person you think is going to be really good at that job, and give people a chance. Don't keep it to the same old people all the time. It really, it's very cliquey at times, this industry, and that's sometimes I find that really upsetting. And maybe my agent says I should get a thicker skin. Maybe I should.
What sort of style or fashion area would be your absolute ideal to do?
Right now, I'd really like to do a futuristic film, but like super futuristic. I think it'd be so fascinating because I think the way costumes can be printed now, I mean, sort of 3D printed, and I mean, I just think, if you have the budget to do something really amazing, and I was offered something and I didn't do it, and then because I was waiting for something else, and I regret not doing it now. But you know, we make our choices, and we trust people, and we hope we have. You know, you do what you do, and then something else comes along, and it'd be equally brilliant. So who knows?
What's your next project?
At the moment, I'm just finishing off. Well, because of coronavirus, I'm just about to start back on a show that should have been finished, called The Nevers, which is the TV HBO thing. And when that's done, I don't know, actually. I don't know. I mean, it's some really strange times for us. You know, we're still in studios. Other films are still in studios that should have been left. New ones can't come in. No one really knows. I mean, how it's going to be. I can't work it.
A really great film that hopefully they're still making. You'd be ideal doing the great film that they might be making.
Yeah.
Me and Lee.
Heard about that. Someone told me.
Yeah, it's still going on.
Wouldn't that be fantastic?
They're still in script development, because I thought it might disappear with this, but they're writing the script at the moment, so you never know.
I remember Lee. I remember him. I didn't remember the club so much, but we used to live near Watney Market, and I used to see him.
So did he.
We used to chit chat around the Sainsbury's together. It's really fun.
I know, he was always in that Sainsbury's because he liked food. He liked his food.
I know, it was really
Anyone else got any questions in the last 5 minutes? And remember,
I'd like to do David Bowie stories. That would be my favourite. I'd love to. That would be great.
What happened to that? Wasn't there being a David Bowie film
being
made?
It was not done. I don't know. Donald knows a bit more about it than I do, but it wasn't.
David wants to know about the picture behind you. What's the story behind it?
It's actually Paul Asher, one of my best friends, painted it, but I can't remember where it was. He made paint it years ago, and I've had it for years. And I've never found a place to put it, and now in my top room here in St Leonard's, it just makes me think of the sun and the seaside, and it's beautiful.
So it looks like Mexico to me. Not that I've ever been to Mexico, but
it looks very Mexico to me as well. But it's probably somewhere around Loughborough Junction, because he usually quite locally.
Any other questions that you're desperate to ask? Because here's your opportunity. Oh yeah. What advice do you have for a young creative from Australia who wants to work here, move and work in costume design movies overseas? What's the best way to gain contacts in the business?
It's so, I mean, usually I would say, I guess, just there's a lot of sort of trainee schemes which we use that bring people into your space, and you work with them, and then you know, some people you really get on with. Emma O'Loughlin, who's one of my favourite assistant designers, you know, started off in the workroom ironing, and slowly, you know, we got to know each other, and so she ended up, you know, becoming from that assistant designing Game of Thrones and Crown and everything else. So it's just getting in to meet people. But then with coronavirus, I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't know. We don't know enough about it yet. But I would say try and get into the team in whatever way you can, and then you meet people. You want to be a maker, you meet cutters. It's a sort of, there's a lovely way through the industry if you get on with people. And if it's
I always think it's who you know, really, isn't it, in life?
It is, and it's how you react in those situations, how you are, you know, how friendly you are, how helpful you are, and how talented often as well, you know.
Yeah.
It's a mix.
But no one wants to work with a moaner, do they?
I'm
when you go in, are you a moaner? I can't imagine you being a moaner.
I don't think I am. I think Russell will probably say I am,
but oh, Princess Margaret's caftans are the perfect lockdown look.
Yeah, but I didn't do those. I think Jane or someone else did those. I only did the first series.
Yeah.
But I do like a caftan.
Do you know if the royal family watched The Crown? Did you any?
We were told that they did, that some of them did. I think the younger ones did. I don't know if the Queen did. I met the Queen actually when she came to see Game of Thrones, I remember.
Oh yeah, how was she?
She was lovely. She was all bright yellow and she was tiny, and he was really nice actually, Prince Philip. And all they kept doing was trying to make her sit on the throne, which of course she wouldn't do. This was stupid.
Oh.
But no, she was sweet. She's a tiny person.
And I love the fact she has to wear really bright colours so she stands out.
I know. I think, oh, she's got yellow on. I remember thinking, I'm not going to curtsy. And then when I watched it back, I curtsied. I purposely said I wasn't going to curtsy, and then I did. Just automatically. She makes you curtsy just by her presence.
What I was fascinated by in the Crown, why they had to keep curtsying to each other. Like she had to curtsy to her own sister, and you're just thinking, what, in the privacy of your own? Wouldn't you just say, "Oh no, it's all right, don't bother to do it"?
Yeah, don't bother now. I know, it's funny, isn't it? I mean, I don't know.
I hope they don't do it now. I mean, it's just weird.
It is odd. I mean, the whole concept of it all is really odd, but I think it's just fascinating looking at these lives these people live.
I know. To be honest, if you sort of, it was in a story, you'd think that's a bit far-fetched.
I know.
It's all true. And the things like, they're not meant to go out with bare legs and things like that. You think, well, what difference it makes?
Archaic, really, but I guess people will say the whole institution's a bit archaic, so maybe it's changed. I don't know.
But they're changing, aren't they?
I think they are. Yeah.
Coming up. Anyone else got anything to say? Oh, Rennie Duchancois, lovely to watch this today and hearing you, Michele. Your designs are fabulous. Lovely attention to detail on Game of Thrones. The jewellery, fabrics, and the breadth of ideas. Oh, so much of adding to the joy of watching Game of Thrones. Wasn't that lovely when people say such nice things?
It is really nice. And thanks for everyone watching it when it's such a sunny day outside.
Oh, yeah. Oh, as Flavio says the same, she loves it. Have you still got your jewellery line?
Yeah, made London. Yeah, it's going pretty well actually. Surprisingly, it's okay.
They're amazing, the jewellery pieces. If you look them up, they're wonderful.
Yeah, did it with Eunice and Eliza. They're brilliant. They're great. They're on that. I couldn't do it on my own. See, it's going into the business, and I just can't do that. I need other people to do that.
Do you know what? I'm the same. I hate, like an art exhibition, and you don't know if it's going to sell or not. I hate it.
I know.
I just like having me commissions, and I just do. I know what I'm doing. I know where I am.
Exactly. That's the same with costumes. I'm only doing it because someone's asked me to do it. I'm not touting my wares. You know. That's what I like.
Just I like the world of just being asked to do things.
Yeah, me too.
My
And then
favourite.
it's confidence. I don't know. It just feels more secure.
Yeah.
You know.
Especially, to be honest, I've got more work during lockdown than I had before, so that's quite lucky.
I know. When I first started lockdown, I was like cooking loads and actually sort of enjoying it. But then I went through a period where I got really quite down, just because I realised I missed being creative and working with people.
Yeah.
And so about 2 weeks ago, when they sort of started me back, and I actually another couple of projects not to do with filming came, I'm suddenly really excited. I'm drawing away and sort of having ideas, and I had a really good idea last week. I was so proud of. I couldn't wait to tell everyone, and they thought it was a good idea too. So it's just like I need that creativity in my life, but I need it to do it with others. I'm not particularly good at just being on my own. I want to discuss, talk about it.
And when is The Secret Garden coming out?
I don't know when it's coming out.
Desperate to see it. Desperate.
I really think they should let it. Well, I suppose it's difficult whether people go to the cinemas at the moment, but it's such a beautiful piece. I was a bit fed up about the continuity on it. They sort of screwed up some of the continuity on the costumes in the editing, which often happens. Annoying. So sometimes there's all this breakdown with this bloody embroidery. It's on, then it's off, then it's on. You go, why did you do? Why can't you see that? That sort of annoyed me a bit. But actually, it's a beautiful, beautiful film. And the Dixie who plays the lead she's such a good little actress. They all are actually. They're really. And people say, "Oh, why'd you do another one?" It's like, well, because each generation needs to see that story in a way that's relevant to them. So they'll just see one made 20 years ago as being old-fashioned. But if you see it now and it's not magic. It shouldn't be like a magic gun. It's this take on it. People love to knock things so quickly.
Oh, they do.
And it really annoys me because it's like, see it first and don't see it through your eyes. See it through a young kid's eyes. So anyway, I'm really defensive. I loved it. I love that. And I just saw the Kingsman film the other night, and that's really good. It's a really epic bit of cinema.
Oh, good. What's your favourite Game of Thrones character to dress?
Sansa.
See, I don't even know who that is because I don't watch it.
I like her. I don't know. I just always liked Sansa.
She loves Sansa's dress in the final episode. So
I think
this is Tina from Thailand.
Yeah, it's my favourite dress. I wanted to end the show on my favourite dress, and they let me dress her. So the hands dressing her in the final scenes of my hands.
Oh, really?
They wouldn't let me wear my rings. I went, I've got to wear my rings. They went, a scepter wouldn't wear rings like that. I went, I think she would. Anyway, they wouldn't let me.
Oh, Katie, have you got any? It's gone 4 now. Have you got any pictures to show yet, Katie? Because sometimes we put them up. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's lovely.
Oh, lovely.
I knew that cactus would be popular. Very nice.
Very graphic, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like that.
I think that's Jennifer Corker, and then she embroiders it. That's why she wanted to see your rings.
That's so beautiful. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, cute. Oh, I like that. I think that's done on. I think that's Paul Wayne's done on his iPad.
I like that. I love the cactus. Oh, that's
lovely. But some of them I can't. Oh, good. Someone's done collage.
Oh, wow.
I love when people do different things.
Yeah.
That's very cute.
Cute. I like the painting.
That's my friend Karen. Recognise her style.
Even though I've got my lockdown roots at the back, it still looks blonde. Hurrah!
Hilary Wilkie.
Oh, nice.
Lovely. But we put them all up at the end. Yeah. Well, usually later tonight or tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Barbara said thank you, Sue Michele. Tina from Thailand.
Thanks, Tina.
Oh, that was lovely. Thank you. Hope to see you very soon. You starting work next Monday then?
The following, I think. Yeah.
So where are you going?
I'm going to have all my start having my COVID test done or something this week. I can't go to work until I've had it. Seemingly, I have to have it every week then, and sometimes 3 times a week if I'm going on set. Ooh.
And whereabouts are you working? What area?
In Acton, in London.
Oh, glamorous then.
Oh, yeah, very glamorous, I have to say. That's the thing. Filming isn't glamorous. It's never what it seems.
I know. People think things are very glamorous until they see the reality, don't they?
Oh, I know.
It's nice to think being on, because I've only been extras and that. And I thought, it's quite boring, really, isn't it?
Oh, God. I tell you, when I was on set with my hands on the Game of Thrones thing, I was so bored. I was only on for like about 3 or 4 hours. But you have to do this every day. It's just
I
like
know.
stand around for hours doing nothing.
I suppose it's all right if you're the proper film star, because you've got your own Winnebago and that.
But it's, I don't know.
But the extras, they just sit around and talk about what other jobs they've had, don't they?
Oh no, they're hysterical. Some of them. They do
I know,
make you
my favourite.
laugh.
Oh, well, that was
Oh,
lovely. Thank you so much, Michele.
thank
And
you.
hopefully see you before you go away.
Oh, I'll still come down every weekend, I think. I'd love to fully, really. I just can't commute from here. It's too far, sadly.
I know, and you can't really trust the chains, can you?
No. Anyway, all right.
Thank you so much for doing this. It's marvellous.